In this video, guys, I'm going to be showcasing 4 insane Yubel combos that you guys need to know, especially with Battle of Legends right around the corner. Now, with Phantom of Yubel finally hitting the TCG, guys, this deck literally rockets to almost tier 1, I would say maybe even top 3 decks of the format, and you guys will see with these insane combos. But before we get into the video, guys, of course, like, comment, subscribe, check out all the links down below, guys. I'm about to be going absolutely crazy with the content, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so now we are going to quickly jump into the combos. If you are not familiar with my combo video, guys, like I always say, I start off with the super basic combos, then I get into like the more legit kind of crazy combos. But this combo, guys, we're going to be starting off with Samsara D Lotus, not to be confused with Monkey D Luffy. Essentially, like I said for my previous video, if you guys have not seen it, somewhere up here, guys, go ahead and hit that button. But guys, this is essentially a Lone Fire Blossom for the deck. It does have a pretty cool like end phase effect where it says if you control a Yubel monster and this card's in your graveyard, reborn it. So very similar to whatever the other card is, like Samsara, regular Samsara Lotus, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, guys, so we will start off with the first combo. This is going to be super basic, bread and butter. This is essentially what the old combos were kind of formulated around. So again, we normal summon Samsara D Lotus, use its effect to go ahead and trigger to summon out. I actually didn't realize that this was a plant. That's for I genuinely didn't know. But anyways, we summon a Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel has the effect where, again, if she's special summoned, you can, or if they're special summoned, you can go ahead and use its effect to go ahead and set a card that like spell trap that names it or mention it, whatever. I mean, really, just to get Nightmare Pain, you're probably not going to be getting any of the other cards unless you like play the counter trap, or not the counter trap, sorry, the continuous trap that lets you like super poly because like the fusion card's like broken. But from here, guys, we can activate Nightmare Pain, use the effect, which is essentially like Dragonic Diagram, pop one, add one, which is really good in this deck because all the Yubel cards float, right? So we can use this. This card can pop Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel will trigger in the graveyard to go ahead and summon out our Yubel. So Yubel's really good. Like, honestly, these are one of those cards that have really crazy, like super nice artwork in my opinion, but to each their own, right? So we add the Grave Squirmer, and then Grave Squirmer has the effect where if you control like a fiend monster, you can special summon it. It's really good because like it doesn't necessarily say like Yubel, and it says then you can destroy one Yubel. So again, like that's why I didn't pop it. And it's really important to note that like you don't always want to pop because you want the extenders on the board for this card. So this card, again, Unchained Lord of Yama Pajamas. Basically, Yama has the effect where when it's link summoned, essentially you can go ahead and add like an Unchained card from your graveyard or deck to the hand. So this will trigger to go ahead and add us our Unchained Soul of Sharvara. Sharvara quick effect, target one like fiend or one card on the field, special summon itself and then pop. And then you guys will see the second effect later. But because we have nothing to pop, because we don't really want to pop our Yama, we can use Grave Squirmer's second effect, where essentially it says you can banish this and then special summon the fiend monster 0 attack or defense from your graveyard. So this will be able to summon out our Spirit of Yubel. From here, we can go ahead and use Sharvara, go ahead and special summon out by popping to summon out Sharvara. And then we can go ahead and use Spirit of Yubel because for some reason this isn't once per turn, to go ahead and summon out our Yubel. Essentially, like these cards have the effect where it's like if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can summon Yubel out of anywhere. Just think of it as that. So from here we can go ahead and reborn it, and we can link these two cards away into our Unchained Soul of Rage. This will go ahead and trigger Sharvara. Sharvara has the effect where when it's sent to the graveyard, you can go ahead and set like an Unchained spell trap, or I think it's like an Unchained card. I'm not a spell trap, right? And then you can go ahead and get the pop, or you can get the reborn. Usually I like to prefer the reborn just because like we can link these cards, and then having Yama engrave is really nice in that regard. So from here we can go ahead and link our monsters way into our Appaloosa. Again, like the world's your oyster in that regard because we're technically not really hard link or hard lock, sorry, into like fiends or fire monsters, things of that nature, or Yubel monsters. So like you can make this into like a Promethean to reborn, like the Sharvara, and go into like other plays like that. So it's really good. But I mean, for the most part, Appaloosa is gonna be really good. Yeah, like I show you can go into Griffin, but Appaloosa is always gonna be good. Especially for the simple fact that like we can use this to reborn our Rage, and then Rage can protect Appaloosa. So you know what I mean? So like it gets pretty legit in that regard. And then we have like all sorts of other follow plays in the graveyard, things that nature with like Yama and other things. So that's it for the first combo, guys. Again, like I said before, this was the initial combo that kind of people were going around, the bread and butter. I just want you guys to understand it real quick. Now we're going to quickly get into the second combo. Guys, before we get into the video, quickly just look over here, guys. I started launching a Twitch account or X account. I'm trying to be very consistent, so please go ahead and follow. Shout out to my 3 followers. Honestly, that's super legit. Shout out to Noah Dragoon, shout out to Vanquishal, Antifa, Frederick, Third God, the 1V, whatever, and shout out to Jaden King. And watch this, I'm gonna live follow you right here, guys. If you guys end up following my Twitter, I will 1,000,000% guarantee I'm gonna follow you back no matter what. And of course, guys, if you comment, I'm gonna try my best to respond to each and every single one of you guys' comments. And finally, guys, go ahead and follow my Twitch, guys. I'm going to be streaming very soon. I might even be streaming Yubel. I might even be streaming any other sort of masterful content, guys. So please go ahead and check out my socials. That'd be really good. Now back into the video. All right, guys, now we are getting on to the second combo. Now again, this is the brand new revamp combo with whatever you call it, Phantom of Chaos, Phantom of Yubel. Now again, I made a video like yesterday or a couple days ago, and that one I kind of showed a 1-card combo. That combo was way scuffed, and the reason for that is like literally as soon as I saw the card, I'm like, bro, this is crazy that I gotta test it. And now this is, like I said before, I sat down, I put my head to the whatever you want to call it, and I started grinding my gears. Let's get it. But basically this is the same combo. I'm gonna kind of like go through this one a little quicker just because we know what the cards do now. So we will go Lotus, summon Spirit, Spirit effect set, activate Nightmare Pain pop, go ahead and get Squirmer. And this will go ahead and activate Spirit effect, go ahead and summon out our regular Yubel. From here, because you control a fiend, summon out Squirmer from here. And then from here, guys, we can go ahead and link our monsters away into our sorry about that, into our Yama. From here, guys, we can use Yama grab us our Sharvar. So like I said before, it's all very standard, like super basic. So from here, what we can do is we can go ahead and use Squirmer, banish Squirmer, summon out our Yubel. And then from here, guys, we can go ahead and use Sharvar to pop the Yubel to summon out itself. Then again, we use the Spirit of Yubel to summon out the regular Yubel. From here, guys, we can do the same thing where we link our 2 monsters way into our Rage, and then this will trigger our Sharvara in the grave to set. So essentially what we want to do is, like I said before, you can choose what you want to set. Like I always say, guys, because we're linking the cards away, like you want to just set this card in its own thing. But now the thing that changes here is now we can go ahead and summon out Phantom of Yubel by contact fusing, by shuffling. So again, ABC Dragon Buster does it, Phantom of Yubel does it. I think what's that guy, Vicious Astrolabe, he also does it as well, right? So any card that kind of has like monsters that, okay, you can use these monsters from your shield, get rid of them, and then shuffle these cards back or banish these cards. It's just like a crazy card. On top of that, it is a monster negate, or quote unquote monster negate, kind of how Gossip Shadow is, where like it changes the effect, kind of like Artifact Durandal, where it changes the effect to, you can tribute this card, that card effect becomes your opponent destroys one. So like if our opponent wants to nib us or like use some annoying cards like that, things of that nature, we can just go ahead and pop and start floating and getting into really annoying board states. That's because like all the Yubel cards can't be destroyed battle or whatever, so it's really good in that regard. From here, guys, we can go ahead and link our 2 monsters away, like I said before, into our Appaloosa. It can go into Promethean Princess, it can go into whatever you guys want to do. You can go into like IPs, you can go into Nightmare Griffins, anything like that, guys. The world is your oyster, literally. But yeah, like I said, that's it for the second combo. That's the newer combo, guys. Now let's get into the third combo. All right, guys, now we are getting on to the third combo. Now this is going to be Samsara plus any random card. Like I put Mature Chronicle just because like why not, but it can be any card, right? And now this is kind of where it kind of showcases the multiple paths that you have. Shout out to Attack on Titan. Basically, again, like I said before, we're just gonna kind of let the combo play out. Normal Lotus tribute, go ahead and get Spirit, go ahead and set Pain, activate Diagram effect, go ahead and get Squirmer, pop Yubel effect and Grave, go ahead and summon out our Yubel. Cool. Now because you control a fiend, we can special summon out Grave Squirmer. I don't know where this cough came from. Very rude. But then Grave Squirmer can go ahead and use its effect to pop Yubel. Yubel will go ahead and get at our other Yubel, which is going to be Terror Incarnate. Really important that we have both of these cards in loop. And this is another kind of, like I said, like a path where you need to know that, like, okay, if I have access to both of these cards, this is the line I can go through. So from here, guys, we can go ahead and link these 2 monsters away again into Yama. Like, this card is crazy. It should have been hit when Unchained was good, because now, like, why would you hit it for Yubel? It literally doesn't make any sense. But it should have absolutely been hit when Unchained was good, but they took too long. But you know, Konami, whatever. But from here, we go ahead and get Yama. Yama's effect will trigger to add us our Sharvar. Like, these 2 cards are crazy. It doesn't even matter that this card's at 1, right? Like, whatever. But from here, we can go ahead and contact fuse the monsters away into our first Phantom of Yubel. And yes, the zone is very important in this instance. Make sure you guys have the bad boy in this zone right here, okay? And again, like I said before, that's the reason why we wanted to have essentially the Yubel cards engraved, because we want to keep Spirit of Yubel in graveyard specifically for, like, you guys can already see what's gonna happen, but that's why, right? We want to keep Spirit of Yubel. And also summoning this card is like a good place to be, because like our opponent can't nib us anymore, because essentially if they nib us, we tribute this card and turn the nib into like pop and extend. So it's really good in that regard. And now we're like, of course, like we have free reign and everything we can do. Make sure this card's in the zone, trust me. I'm sure you guys know why, but just make sure. From here, we can use Squirmer, banish, summon our Spirit of Yubel, use Sharvara, special summon it out, go ahead and pop Spirit of Yubel effect, go ahead and trigger to summon out the Yubel, which is super cool. Then here we can link our 2 monsters away into our Rage, and then here, guys, we will use Sharvara again. Like Sharvara Yama, bro, this card is like peanut butter and jelly, bro. Cosmo and Wanda, Hershey Kisses, like I don't know, whatever, Scotty, Pippen, and Michael Jordan, like anything you guys want to think of. But from here, guys, we can go ahead and use our 2 monsters, and we can link these bad boys away into our Nightmare Griffin. Now you're probably like, wait a minute, Griffin's pointing up there, why would I want it there? No, you guys will see exactly why in just a second. This is the reason why I'm saying Phantom of Yubel has crazy potential. From here, guys, what we can do is we can shuffle back our Yubel and our Spirit of Yubel to summon out the second Phantom of Yubel. Now, again, this zone doesn't really matter. Technically, you could summon it here, so like it doesn't matter. But yeah, the zone doesn't really matter. If you have an additional card, you can use Griffin to discard and whatever, and like play through that. But from here, guys, what we're gonna do is we can go ahead and summon out the second Phantom of Yubel, and then link these two monsters away into our Muttcracker, Moocracker from the Underworld. Now, whenever this card is out, it's always something degenerate. And again, this card has the effect where you can target one fiend monster in your graveyard, discard a card and reborn it, and then also has the effect where if a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, tribute one fiend monster instead. So basically you can like use this effect to tribute it, whatever, right? So it's pretty good in that regard. From here we use the Muttcracker, target the Griffin, discard literally any card. Literally any card. It could be freaking Brow or whatever, it doesn't matter, right? So when you discard this, summon out the Griffin. And then from here, guys, this is our end board. So essentially our end board is a Phantom of Yubel tribute. And again, the Griffin is pointing to Phantom of Yubel, like I said before. It's very important, right? But the Griffin is pointing to our Phantom of Yubel, and it's not pointing to anything else to our opponents, so they're locked out of special summon effects. It also has the effect where we can use this to tribute to like potentially stop our opponent from like threatening lethal or threatening a way to out this card. We have Muttcracker for protection, and then if our opponent, for example, goes through the Muttcracker already, we can use Abominable to reborn Rage, summon out Rage here to this zone specifically, and then essentially what that does is like we can link our monsters away and summon it into here, summon it into like an SP Lil Knight, or summon it into anything else to or I don't think Rage can go to SP Lil Knight, but summon it into anything else, you know what I mean, and then continue off playing from there, things of that nature, guys. So that is it for the third combo. This is kind of like a pseudo quote-unquote Griffin lock. Now let's go into the fourth and final combo. All right, guys, so now this is the fourth and final combo. Now this is one thing's absolutely crazy. Like, okay, if you thought Samsara D Lotus with the Will of D was that good, and if you thought Nightmare Pain is that good, and you thought Spirit of the Harp or whatever it's called, Spirit of Yubel is really good, and you thought all that shit is good, bro, you guys do not know how crazy Nightmare Throne is. Okay, Nightmare Throne says this. First off, field spells in general are just like, they don't make any sense. Look at Sang Summoning, right? That's just one of the cards. Look at the Gimmick Puppet one that we're getting at. And now Nightmare Throne. When this card's activated, take one fiend monster, add to your hand, or destroy it. Kind of like Overwrapped in a sense, not really, but we can use that. Then the other fact is, if a Yubel monster is destroyed, it's kind of like Calarium, where you can go ahead and summon another one from deck. You guys like that reference, Calarium? But basically, we're going to start off the play with one Nightmare Throne and watch what we're going to end on. We use Nightmare Throne. Throne effect. I'm gonna take that one fiend monster 0 attack. I'm gonna add it to my hand. Why did I destroy it? I'm gonna add it to my hand instead. But I mean, if you do already have access, right, then you can pop it. But we don't really want to pop it for now. So from here, guys, we use Samsara D Lotus. I had to calm myself down, I'm not gonna lie, but we use Samsara D Lotus to summon out our Spirit of Yubel. Now use this Spirit of Yubel's effect again. Like I said before, guys, as soon as we kind of understand the loop that this deck wants to do, we can get it every single time, no matter what. Like, there's a bunch of 1-card starters, but from here we summon out Spirit. Spirit get the Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain effect. Go ahead and pop to get our Squirmer. Now this is where it gets nasty. We can go Chainlink 1 Yubel, Chainlink 2 Throne. Okay, watch what it's gonna do. Throne's gonna go ahead and summon our Yellow Boy Terror Incarnate. He's pretty sick. A 2-headed dragon, bro. Why is this card not a dragon? It doesn't matter, right? And then we can summon out the regular Yubel. Now from here, guys, what we can do is we can go ahead and link our monsters away into our Yama. Now Yama's effect on summon will go ahead and add us our Sharvara. So I think this is what it's Samsara D Lotus 1, this 2, 3, 4. Now Yama is our 5th summon, so our opponent must nib us in this regard. To be honest, why would they nib just one Yama? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. So nib is bad. And the reason for that is because what we can do is, like I said before, guys, if we have any 2 names, like of the other guys, whatever, we can shuffle them back and summon out Phantom of Yubel. Now this is our 6th summon. The 5th summon, it's not worth it to nib. Like, if they're siding in nib, they have other problems to deal with. But now we have Phantom of Yubel on the board. So now we have that extra layer of nib protection. From here, guys, we can go ahead and use Grave Scrummer, special summon itself out, because you control a fiend monster, and it's really good because like it doesn't necessarily say like a fiend monster 0 attack, so it's really good. From here we can go ahead and link our 2 monsters away into Unchained Soul of Rage, and then from here, guys, we can go ahead and use Squirmer to banish to summon out our Yubel. It's really important because we specifically wanted the Squirmer engrave for this, and then we also want the Yama engrave, which you guys will see later on. So from here we can go ahead and use Sharvara. Sharvara's effect, target special, pop the Yubel. Now we can go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so we can go ahead and go Chainlink 1 Yubel, Chainlink 2 Yama. So Yama says if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while still in your graveyard, banish this card, special on 1 fiend monster from your hand to graveyard, then you can destroy 1 card you control. So again, everything's then you can, so it's really good in that regard. And then Spirit of Yubel, like I said before, guys, has the effect where if it's pop, summon, not once per turn, really good. So from here, guys, we can go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. This will go ahead and summon out our Spirit of Yubel. I don't think Yama targets, right? When this card, you can banish the card. Yeah, so Yama doesn't target, so it's pretty good. But we will summon out Spirit of Yubel, and the Spirit of Yubel will go ahead and trigger in the graveyard to summon out our regular Yubel. Cool. From here, guys, we can go ahead and link our monsters away into our Promethean Princess. So, something really important to know here, it's pretty funny, right? Like, how is this card a fire fiend? How does it work so well with Princess? Beats me, honestly, but the fact that this card is a fiend is crazy. I literally thought it was like a sea serpent or like a warrior or something, but I mean, to each your own, right? So now we can go ahead and use Sharvara. Sharvara's effect will trigger to set, like set for the reborn spell, almost always. I don't really think you want to play the pop card anyways, but from here, the reborn spell, now we can use Princess to go ahead and summon out Sharvara because it is a fire monster. So from here, guys, since we have summoned out our Sharvara, we can go ahead and choose to link summon, and we're not locked because it also says while it's face up in the monster zone, you cannot special monster. So that's like something that's tied with the first effect, so we are not locked into the fiends. So from here, guys, we can choose what you want to link into. It has to be a fire monster. I'm gonna show you guys two options: Will, and we can go into Duelist Chimera. In my personal opinion, Will is like technically the better one to play in your deck because like when will you ever have two fire monsters? This is only helping like your overall end board in a sense. Like we don't really have fire monsters, whereas Will is just like 2+ effect monster, so it's always live. But in my opinion, Duelist is a little better because you can pop do little with Promethean Princess and then get Sharvara in the loop for like other plays, disruptions, things of that nature. So in my opinion, do little is better, but playing Will is the more realistic card because it's like the generic card. But for like all intents purposes, like making the end board nice, we're gonna play Duelist. From here, guys, we can go ahead and overlay our monsters into the rank 10. So this card I was talking about in my previous video, guys. If you haven't seen my previous video, like check it out somewhere down here or whatever. This card's name is Varudos, the final bringer of the end times. First off, this guy's crazy. Second off, like look at this card, like it's amazing, right? When your opponent activates your card or effect, quick fact, detach one shield from this card, negate the activation, then you can detach one shield from this card, then destroy one card on the field. Pretty crazy. At third, damage if this card attacks while it has a material, destroy one card on the field. Pretty good. If this card's XYZ summon, if this XYZ summon card is destroyed, you can destroy one card on the field. Like, why does it have so many destruction effects? Does anybody even know? Doesn't really matter, right? But from here, guys, essentially, we're ending on a mega popper guy who pops everything. We have a monster negate, essentially tribute and change it to destruction. We have Nightmare Throne, which is going to be doing the floaty. We have Duelist Chimera, which Promethean Princess can go ahead and pop Doolittle, and we want to do that later on. We don't want to essentially do it really early. The reason for that is we don't want Princess on board because then we can no longer float with like Nightmare Throne, and we can no longer summon out with Abominable, Unchained, or whatever. So it's really good in that regard, right? So essentially we have this card, Reborn Rage, to play. We also have this card, which is negate and pop. We also have this card, which is a negate. We also have this card. You guys can see, right? So just off of one card, Phantom of Yubel enables all sorts of random, nonsensical tomfoolery. So guys, please, if you like the video, please go ahead and leave a like on the video. Again, subscribe if you have not already. Follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter, check out my Discord, things of that nature, guys. My name's Hamza, like I always say. Keep on shining, never run dreams. Peace.